Hello YouTube, my name is Paul, hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to another pickup video. This pickup video has various different games on various different formats. So I thought I'd mix it up a little bit before I get back into a particular system. I've been picking up loads of Amiga titles over the last couple of months. I've probably amassed about 50 now. So I've got quite a few Amiga pickup videos to go through. I've probably got, well, not quite a similar amount, maybe 30 or 40 ST games as well for the collection. The Spectrum collection is dwindling down, so it's a lot less to show you now than I once had. So I'll leave those for a bit because I think you've all been a bit spectrumed out. Some PlayStation games. I picked up a Grail PS4 Collector's Edition I've been after for ages. Yeah, some PS1 games. So I've got a few games to show you over the next few months. But this particular video I thought I'd just clear up a few games I've got before they turn into their own specific system video again. So I've got some Amstrad games in here, Amstrad GX4000 games, 32X, PC, and Atari 2600, or as Dylan Craven would say, the Atari, because that's what it was called back in the day. No one called it a 2600 or a VCS, we just called it the Atari. So fair point there, Dylan, mate. So yeah, some of these games I've had in the past, and what I tend to do, if I want to buy something, and I need the money, I will sell games that are quite easily to get again. So, for example, in the past I've sold some Mega CD games, not many, but a few. About 4 32X games, about a dozen GX4000 games, but I know I can get those back over time. Now, I wouldn't sell something that's really hard to get because that'd be pointless. But generally I will sell something to try and raise a few quid. So yeah, so first up I'm going to show you some Atari games. Now, one game I've picked up I've been after for flipping ages. You seem to get it in America quite easily, but in Europe you can't for some reason, especially in this country, and that's where I got this cartridge from. And unfortunately it is cart only. This game that's based on a character like me, because this guy, or mouthpiece, don't stop fucking eating. And that's fast food, finally. Unfortunately it's incomplete, but I've been after this game for such a long time. I have such fond memories of it because it's a very good game. I remember playing this around my neighbour's house, a guy who had the old Atari Vader model. But yeah, you literally eat as much as you can, avoiding the purple pellets, because the purple pellets, you can only pick up 5 of them and you die. That's the game over. But like any other Atari 2600 game or Atari game, they go from easy to difficult really, really quick. And at the end of each level, it tells you you're getting fatter. Not that I need reminding, but yeah, cracking little game. Certainly recommend it. So I'm really pleased to have it, but I am looking for a full, complete version. Now I saw the cartridge and instructions in Germany. Asked the guy if he would ship it across, and he said no. So yeah, it's a shame really. But yeah, I picked up 2 more games, Atari games, which are based on recommendations really. I've never had them before, but I have played one of them in the past, years ago. And one of them would be sort of regarded as one of the best shooters on the system. The other game is an anomaly to me, as I've never played it. So first up is Spider-Man. I'm not sure who recommended this one to me. It was during my pickup video for the Atari VCS. But yeah, another Parker Brothers game. This one was quite cheap, I think, about 10 quid. Buy it now. As soon as I saw it, I snapped it up. I've got no idea, mainly the values of Atari games, because most games are cheap as chips. Well, I won't say most games, that's a lie. The common games that keep coming up are cheap as chips, even though they used to be desirable and quite expensive. They're now fallen in price and are quite cheap. You don't get any screenshots. You do get screenshots. Well, there you go. Spider-Man in action. Nothing much to look at really, to be honest. But inside the box you get the cartridge, that annoying sort of cardboardy thing that keeps the cartridge in place, which kind of doesn't because it slips straight out, and the instruction manual in nice condition as well, I must say. But yeah, I played this game for a bit, wasn't quite sure what to do. I sort of started climbing up the buildings rather than using the old web, and then I started falling off the buildings. Didn't realise I can use the old web again to get back up before I actually hit the deck. But a good little game to have. I think, if I forget, fast food was about 7 quid. And to find that complete in somewhere like Germany might cost you about 40 euros. So Spider-Man. Next up is River Raid. Now River Raid's a game I saw come up on eBay quite recently. I think the last couple of weeks. It came up for £15, so I snapped it straight up. This is the international edition as well, for those who didn't know. The international edition was the export version of the game for places like Europe. So I think Atari didn't really release games outside of Europe either, did it really? Mostly North America, Europe. But yeah, so I didn't realise there was an international edition, so I wasn't quite sure how you could tell if it was one that was designed for a PAL machine or not. But yeah, if you see on the top there underneath River Raid, there you go. And there's some games that just have a P on them, which I've highlighted before, like that one, to denote its region. Get no instructions on this one. It's not in mint condition or nothing like that. It's probably in a 6 out of 10. Flaps are a bit tiresome. Worn out flaps. But anyway, River Raid, the actual cartridge itself, you can see there a bit of glue. I'm not sure what causes that, but yeah, the glue they used on these games causes it to do that. Which goes a little bit speckly and horrible. And inside you get the booklet, which is plan of operation. I guess is the instruction manual for the game. It's a cracking shoot 'em up, really good vertical shooter, great fun as well. It is hard, like any Atari game, like I mentioned. But well worth playing, well worth giving it a go. And I didn't realise there was actually a sequel to this game, which is quite a bit more expensive. Well, for 15 quid, I thought I had a little bargain there, to be honest. The annoying thing about these Activision boxes, they're slightly smaller than the Atari boxes. They don't quite fit snugly into these protective cases. That's it for the Atari. Like I said before, I'm only after about 40 Atari games. I think I'm now up to around 27. So I'm after a few titles like Hero, I think it's one of them, Pitfall 1 and 2, Boxing, and a game I only recently discovered when I was looking for fast food in Germany. It was a game called Barnstorming, which I remember it really well, the artwork, but I don't remember the game that well, to be honest. So I do need to check out some YouTube footage to find out what it plays like. But I do remember the box art really well. Well, I remember the box art once I saw it again, because I completely forgot about it. Right, so next up is the Amstrad. Now there's a compilation here, which is a compilation I've never had before, but I had the previous two in the past. And I picked it up because there was a game on it, which I didn't realise was on that particular compilation. So I think there are two variants of it. Another one is an application, same application that I'm still needing, on the Sinclair Spectrum for my Ocean set. And the other two are games. So let's start off with the compilation. The compilation is by Ocean Software and the Hit Squad. Obviously the same company, but yeah, I didn't realise I used the Hit Squad label all those years ago. But it sold 1 million too. Little Hit Squad label there. Bruce Lee, not a bad little game that, I remember that quite well. Match Day was a good football game for its day, not as good as its sequel obviously. Match Point, which was the game I didn't realise came out in this compilation. I'm pretty sure there's a variant of this with a different game instead of Match Point. And Night Law, which is a legendary game on the Sinclair Spectrum. I'm not sure what the Amstrad version plays like, but I ultimately play the game. There we are, complete with instructions and discs. And this one only set me back £12. That's why I kind of snapped it up really. And the other two aren't worth much more, to be honest. I sold quite a few compilations on earlier in the year to raise money for different projects. Compilations aren't really my thing, but as it's a Hit Squad item and it's an Ocean item, I do really need to get the other two back in the collection, to be honest. So that's that one. Now the next one is an application I picked up. This one came up as a buy it now for 20 quid and it was still sealed. So I snapped it right up. So I missed out on one before that went for about 40 and that was just in used condition. That's Laser Compiler. Still an outstanding title for me on the Sinclair Spectrum. And so is Laser Basic from what I remember. And Tank, the last three items I need to complete my Ocean set. As you can see, nicely sealed. Look at that. I'm never going to open it, I'm never going to use it, I've got no idea what to even flip and do with it, to be honest, but it's really nice to get it. If I remember rightly, the seller was selling quite a few items that were sealed, so I don't know if they were like sealed afterwards or what, but it genuinely looks legitimate to me. Lovely condition too. That's Laser Compiler. Next up is another Amstrad game I've been after for ages. I did miss out on this one as well. This one came up as a bite now for about 20 quid as well, I think. That's Taipan. In fact, it might have been an auction, I can't really remember, to be honest. It's an arcade adventure. It's one of those games you need to read the instructions to play it. I do have it on the Spectrum. There's a floppy disk, but it doesn't come unfortunately, with the instructions. So yeah, I couldn't really play the game, to be honest. It's one of those games that's got loads of different screens. I ain't got a flipping clue what to do. But nice having the collection. I need to buy a cheap copy for the Commodore 64, the Spectrum, and put the instructions in that to make it complete. Right, next up is a game that I didn't realise got a disc release on the Amstrad. It came up on eBay. I thought it'd go for a flipping bomb, to be honest, but it didn't. I think it only cost me about £12 or £13 in the end, and that's Basket Master. Had this game years ago on the Spectrum. Couldn't play it then, I didn't think much of it, but it got some really good reviews from what I remember. But I was no good at it. That's really why I didn't like it, to be honest. But I was really surprised this came out. So when I saw it on eBay, obviously I bid on it. But to get it for £12 I was really surprised. That one does come complete with instructions. But yeah, for those who don't know, some Amstrad disc games have specific instructions, as you can see on there, for the Amstrad, or it might say Amstrad disc on it. So whereas with Taipan I'm not 100% sure what they came like. I'm hoping I could just put a Spectrum or Commodore 64 instruction manual into there. Because some games are different. I mean, what did I buy last month or the month before? Game Over. So Game Over I bought, but had no instructions, and I realised actually you can get any multi-format instructions to put it in there, which is a bonus. Some games are a pain in the arse for that. So yeah, like I said before, I have sold a few GX4000 games on, so I did have a collection of 25, which is one off a full set. But I needed to raise some money. I think it was the back end of last year, and I sold about 12 on, which are all games that are quite easy to pick up again. As you can see, the ones that I really want to keep, I don't know if you can see them in there, but you can. Like Dick Tracy, Pang and that, I wouldn't sell those because they would be a silly thing to do because they're bloody expensive. But some games, like these next two, are quite cheap and they're about 20 quid each. So it's nice to have these back in the collection. The first one is Barbarian 2. I've got an itchy nose here. Christ. Barbarian 2. A game I'm not that keen on, I've got to be honest. I played it before doing this video. I thought it was quite boring. I know a lot of people rave about it. But yeah, I didn't think it was great, to be honest. It's in lovely condition. Now again, if you're after GX4000 games, the place to go for it is France generally. Yeah, complete with instructions with that nice sort of medical smell. Only GX4000 games have that really distinct smell about them. Really strange. But yeah, so I picked up this. I picked up Batman the movie to put back into the collection, which I didn't show you, but I've had that for about 6 months now. I've also picked up Operation Thunderbolt. Again, another £20 game. Not overly expensive. Good conversion on the GX4000, or the Amstrad CPC I should say, because the versions are much the same. And again, has that lovely medical aroma. Smells like a flipping hospital. How weird. So yeah, both these games relatively cheap. It's a very good game, very hard, but a very good port nonetheless. So that's it for the Amstrad games. What have we got next? What have we got next? Right, next up is a couple of 32X games. Now, I sold 4 of those on. Again, 4 games that aren't difficult to find, and none of them are that expensive, to be honest. The first one is a golf game called 36 Great Holes. So good to have that back in the collection. Try and get my 32X collection back to a full set again. I think this was actually in better condition than the one I sold. Always a bonus. I can't remember what this cost me. This wasn't expensive. It can go for anything between 15 and 25 depending on its condition really. It comes complete, instructions and cartridge. But yeah, good to have it back in the collection. A game I've never played. I did love, what did I play on the Amiga? I did love Nick Faldo's Golf. It was an absolutely fantastic golf game. Watching the demo of this, it looks roughly the same. I know most golf games do, but this one looks really similar to Nick Faldo. Sorry. Right, next up, it's another 32X game. That's Metalhead, probably the more expensive of the two. One of those mech games. You sort of walk around this big mechanical contraption, shooting other big mechanical contraptions. Graphically, probably was excellent for its day, but does look dated. But to be fair, it seemed like decent fun. I gave it a go for about 5 minutes for making this video. So it leaves me 2 more to pick up. Again, not fussed how long it takes me to get them. Tough Man Contest. And I think it's called Motocross Challenge or something. Motocross something or another. Again, this is in better condition than the one I sold sort of a year ago. Really nice condition. So yeah, that's what I kind of do. So anything that I think I can pick up again for a reasonable price, or something that I may have that isn't hard to get, that isn't in great condition, I don't mind selling it on to raise the money for stuff that I really want. Like I said, it doesn't matter for the next 2 or 3, 5 years, or however long it takes, I'll pick it up again. The other two, sorry. Right, now next up, PC games. Now someone highlighted to me a copy of this game that I already bought about 6 months, maybe 10 months ago now on the PC. A copy came up in Spain in lovely condition, but I didn't realise the Spanish copy was distributed by someone else. They're both Ocean boxes, one Ocean game, but the Spanish version is a bit different. I was quite surprised. Now, my original box of this particular game, Last Rites, I picked up before Christmas last year, I think. It might have been longer than that, to be honest, but it's not in the best of conditions. It's one of Ocean's last kind of games. It's one of the very few, I think you can see it there, one of the very few first-person shooters you can buy. A bit dusty. So I wanted to always get a better copy of it, but it's that uncommon. It comes up probably once every 6 months, maybe once a year. But yeah, so it's really nice of a subscriber to highlight to me this one that came up in Spain. Now, it's very unusual as well to have a game that was released that is really uncommon, but have a Spanish variant. But yeah, look at the box on that. Now, this one set me back, I think, about £95 in the end, including post. But yeah, you can see you've got a distributor's name down there. This is not on the obviously the UK or the UK release of it. But yeah, it's strange because it's in Spanish, which is a nice thing to have. Instructions are slightly different, whereas the sort of UK one, I guess, or North American one, didn't have a face on the front of it. Reminds me a bit of that Last Ninja mask I showed you in the last pickup video. It comes with a pamphlet from Arcadia, a Funsoft company, which are the distributors in Spain. So yeah, really pleased to have that. I was going to have this one and sell the other one on, but I'm going to keep them both now because, yeah, chuffed to have it. I've never really played it. I've watched it. It is a zombie apocalypse first-person shooter, but it does look very dated, gotta say. Right, next up is a PC game. Now, this is one of my favourite PC games of all time, and I almost forgot about it until I come across a guy selling a bundle of PC games, and in it was this game, which prompted me to go straight onto eBay and find a copy for a reasonable price. This game only set me back about 10 quid, but I've got to be honest, it is probably one of my favourite games of all time, I've got to say. That's Civilization 2. Now, I've never played another Civilization besides this one. I bought one after this, but I can't remember what it was called. It was like a bit of a spin-off, and it was rubbish. I couldn't get on with it, so I never played one again. But yeah, I spent absolutely flipping hours. Hundreds and hundreds of hours have been sunk into this game. I wasn't too bad at it either. But yeah, it's got loads of bump inside, as you'd expect from a game from Microprose back in the 90s. Lots of different pamphlets, the instruction manual, the disc, which is all I've got actually in my own collection. And a friend of mine gave me the disc years ago. But yeah, so glad to have this back in the collection. I would like to play it, but I need to play it through DOSBox. I'm pretty sure it's a DOS-based game. I think you can play it via Windows as well, but I'd rather play it via DOS, to be honest. As nature intended. But yeah, really pleased to have that. Like I said, dirt cheap. Now, for 10 quid, you're going to get your money's worth there. Right, two more things left to show you. First up is an FM Towns game I've been after for ages. It's a Psygnosis game. It's an on-rail shooter as well, very similar to Microcosm. Probably developed by exactly the same team. I know it's Psygnosis, but the game is called Megamorph. I've got some footage for you to see, because I've never actually seen this game moving myself, to be honest. And I don't have an FM Towns emulator, which is a shame. So it seems like quite a complicated emulator to install. But yeah, really pleased to have this in the collection. This one set me back £40. I was lucky not to be charged any import tax. I was expecting to pay at least sort of a tenner really, or whatever it is. But yeah, it comes with a few bits and bobs in the box. Which makes me laugh, these FM Towns boxes. They're massive, and inside them you get quite a flimsy instruction manual. Got no idea what that is, to be honest. It's probably a registration card of some description. And as per usual, you get the CD. And it's what most FM Towns games do not have a front cover on this CD, but they have one on the back. It's very strange. Yeah, really pleased to get this. I've had my eye on this game now for quite a number of years, and every time I see it on eBay, it's usually about 70, 80, £100 to buy. I don't think it's worth that. It's not a great game. But if you like Microcosm, you probably like that. And Microcosm's not really my cup of tea, to be honest. But yeah, and that's that one. I'm still after loads of FM Towns games, but they very rarely come up for auction, which is a shame. There's games online at the moment, like Indiana Jones, like I said before, and The Fate of Atlantis, but one's quite nice but incomplete, and the other one's got some faded spine but is complete. But £195, £200 is probably a little bit too much. There's games like that I'd love in the collection. Right, finally is a game I picked up. I did pick it up. I got it for a Kickstarter project, but I completely forgot all about it. Now I haven't got a Nintendo, and I'm not a Disney fan either. But about 2 years ago, I backed a Kickstarter project and got that, which is highly collectible nowadays. So I was quite lucky with that, because with Kickstarter projects, I'm either lucky with them or flipping not. I've had some right bad experiences with them, but that was probably the best one I had. And I got this, and there's only 200 of those made, so well worth having in the collection. Then I got this one through the post the other day, Dizzy Panic, or Panic Dizzy, which is nothing like the 8-bit versions that we've got on our old Spectrums. I think I've got it on the Spectrum actually. This is more of a Tetris clone, or some kind of a puzzler. Unfortunately I can't test it. I did watch some footage before putting this video up, but yeah, I don't have a Nintendo. But there's one more I want, but I keep forgetting the name of it, which came out again as a Kickstarter project. That's what it's called a minute. Magical Dizzy? I don't know. So many bloody Dizzy games, isn't there? So many Dizzy games. But yeah, I've not even played the other one actually, to be honest. Wonderland Dizzy. Right, almost there, almost there. It's called Mystery World Dizzy. So yeah, we'll look out for that one. But again, I think it's quite difficult to get hold of, because usually if you back a Kickstarter project, most of the time you want to keep it and not let it go. Whew, that's it. That's it for my pickup video. I do have more Hit Squad games. Quite a lot more Hit Squad games actually, so I'm going to keep going with that series now. I've got at least enough to do probably 9 episodes now, which is great. But they are beginning to slow up, as you could imagine. It's very difficult to find Hit Squad games now. Like I said before, I've got loads of Amiga games that I've been after for absolutely ages, and a couple of replacements which are in better condition and with some additional content. ST, again, loads of games I used to have, games I've been after for absolutely ages. Now in the collection, Commodore 64, I have a couple of Commodore 16 games that my old mate Sam used to have, so I can't wait to show those. And the PlayStation 3, and some PlayStation Collector's Editions. That's it. There's nothing else to share with you at the moment. I'll be back again soon with another Amiga Power Top 100 video. And that's it. So I'll see you guys again real soon. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for subscribing. And take care of yourselves. Bye for now.